Welcome back to Better Pet Parents, everybody. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to discuss considering your pet's unique personality when making travel decisions. And what I mean by that is when your family goes on vacation or needs to go out of town and you're not going to be with your pet for an extended amount of time and people make decisions about boarding, please consider which one would be appropriate for your pet's unique personality. If you have a pet who is really set in their ways and can't stand when anything about the routine changes, then your pet might not fare well at all at a boarding facility. And for a pet like that, you might want to consider somebody that would come into your home while you're gone and take care of them there, because that might be where they're going to be the most comfortable and they're going to continue to eat during your absence and that kind of thing, where they're not going to get nervous and they would be more content that way. And then you've got the pets who are extremely social and would never be able to stand being left alone when your family is gone, who would probably fare better at an average boarding facility where they're going to be able to mingle with other animals and get constant attention from the staff. And they might eat that up and love it and just kind of forget that you guys are on vacation because they're having a vacation of their own. And sometimes, there might be that pet that wouldn't be able to stand being left alone in the house, but also would not prefer that highly stimulating environment of an average boarding facility. And that kind of pet might fare better at a pet sitter's home. There are always local resources in place to ask for local recommendations in your community about pet sitters. And the answers to the local recommendations might include the boarding facilities in your area, the pet sitters who come into your home, or the pet sitters who run facilities at their own places. And that might be the kind of pet sitter that is more appropriate for the pet that we're talking about now, the one that doesn't want to be left alone at home, but who also does not want to be in that highly stimulating boarding environment. And, that might be an individual who just keeps one or two pets at their house at a time and, just has a more quiet boarding environment, going on where they can give more individualized, calm attention, where it would be more like them hanging out on the couch with their pet sitter while you're away, instead of them being, in that really active boarding environment with a lot of barking and that kind of thing, if that might stress them out. And so I just want everybody to consider this topic. If you're making travel decisions, one of the best things that you can do is book your pet sitter as far in advance as possible. Because the best pet sitters out there and the best boarding facilities out there are going to book up in advance, book up quickly, because they do have a great reputation, especially for travel dates that are going to be popular travel dates. So like the 4th of July weekend, Labor Day weekend, things like that. Times a year where it's very common for everybody to be traveling. Make sure you make those arrangements for your pet as early as you can to ensure that they're getting the fit that you want them to have. And like I say, as you're making travel decisions, make sure you're considering the one that is most appropriate for your pet's unique personality, because when families go out of town or have to board their pet for any reason at all, that can be extremely stressful on these guys. And a lot of them will have a lot of anxiety about it. Like we mentioned earlier, they might not want to eat while their people are away because they're in a foreign territory of their people not being around. And that stresses them out and they just feel out of whack because of it. And, it can have a lot of negative effects on some of these pets if the right decision is not made for them. So please be aware of this topic. And of course, it's worth mentioning here that there are going to be those pets that would never accept being left anywhere in your absence. And the only option is that they go with you. So if your pet is one of those, I absolutely understand. And if that is the case, no judgment here. You do whatever is best for your pet. And, if you do have a circumstance where you absolutely need a boarding arrangement, just make sure that you are interviewing those people, that you're picking the one that you feel good about, and that you're doing what's going to keep your pet the most comfortable and the most at ease during your absence. Happy pet parenting, everybody. Let us know your questions, let us know your comments, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks so much.